So welcome to Left versus Right. Anthony Weiner on your left, Dominic Carter on the right. Welcome back for another debate, kind of like a warm-up for the big debate they're going to have in Atlanta this week. So what do you think they'll talk about? Migrants?
What debate? What
exactly.
Debate? What debate?
They can't hold a candle to us.
Trump is going to mop the floor with the president of the United States. What debate?
By the way, we have to do a correction right at the top. Okay. We believed when Donald Trump said they were going to be sitting down. That guy is such a liar. They're not sitting down. They're standing up. There was never even a proposal to have them sitting down. You know what I think they should debate? You're going to be upset to hear about this.
Go ahead.
Immigration, migration.
No, you don't. You don't want to go there this week.
All right, we won't go there. We won't do nothing about immigration this week.
You really, Anthony, don't want to go there.
Okay, correct.
This is
Let's not go there.
The week for these stupid, dumb, Democratic talking points. Don't do it.
Only the good ones.
On the issue of migrants.
I'm only going to bring the good ones. You go first.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You have no defense. Women are dying. Women are being raped. Little girls, 12, 13 years old, they're just beginning their lives, and because of you and your buddies, they are dying. They are being left in lakes. They are being raped in the park. 37-year-old mother of 5 killed and raped in a brutal fashion. You don't want to go there this week.
So those crimes happened by migrants, right?
Allegedly, yes.
All right. So that's bad. That's really bad. They should go to prison for that. They should be incarcerated for that. Just like all the people who are not migrants should do that. Now, if you want to exploit the issue, do you know how these people apparently came in? We don't know all the details, but a lot of them came through our asylum laws that your guy stopped us from fixing.
No, that your guy refused to take any... No, Anthony, not this week. I'm not in the mood for this.
Okay, we won't do it.
Your guy, the president of the United States, sat on his hands and did absolutely nothing.
You negotiated a fix
on immigration until the 11th hour in an election campaign and say, oh, don't blame me. Trump has his boys blocking immigration.
Who vetoed it?
No. What did Biden do over the last 4 years?
Who vetoed it?
Can you please answer that? What did Biden do over the last 4 years? And I notice you just gloss over these lies.
I haven't had a chance to do anything. You're yelling at me. You don't want to talk about it, and then you're yelling at me about it.
You know what, Anthony? That 13-year-old girl in the park in Queens.
Just horrible.
That animal, that savage, raping that little girl, and none of these migrants, these illegal migrants, should be here to begin with. They wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you and your Democratic friends patronizing.
How many do you think there are?
How many do you think there are? Does it matter?
Yeah,
it's 3 too many.
Okay,
it's 3 too many.
About 13 million. A lot of them.
I say it's 3 too many. The alleged rapists in Queens.
Terrible.
Rapists.
Don't you think, Dominic? Now listen, I appreciate your passion. One of the things I love about you is your passion. It's one of the reasons you do so well on your show. But let's chill out a little bit and just remember the facts here. Yes, crimes are committed by people who are migrants, people who are not migrants. Crimes are committed.
Mr. Weiner, you do realize that 12-year-old girl, the 12-year-old girl, when they found her body in a lake or whatever it was, you do realize her funeral has not happened yet. And you're sitting up here talking this garbage.
No, it's terrible. It's also terrible when people exploit it for ratings.
And they wouldn't be here if you guys wasn't pandering to the AOCs
That was a shot at you. That was a shot at you.
Okay, well, a shot at me. Why are you taking a shot at me?
Because I'm saying that
your boys that made this possible.
That's incorrect.
Own it.
That's incorrect.
Your boys.
No, that's incorrect.
Democrats.
Listen. You want to take a crime that was committed, a high-profile crime, and yell about it and be passionate about it? Listen, that's the business you and I are in. We're in the business of yelling about things. However, if you want to look at what happened here is we have a broken immigration system that's been broken for generations.
Would they be here if the gate
If we're not
open?
For Donald Trump? Yes.
No.
If we're not for Donald Trump, there's a good chance he wouldn't be here.
Donald Trump is not the president of the United States
of America. Yes, he was from 2017 to 2020. How did he do?
Okay, how did Biden do?
Hold on.
Biden is the current president.
You asked me for the...
Did they get here on
We
Trump's
actually
watch?
don't even know yet.
We do know.
We don't even know.
About
but we do know that Donald Trump had the exact same laws and he didn't fix them. Is that correct?
Did these occur under Trump's watch or under Biden's watch? Which one?
Right. Anything that happened since...
Can you please answer the question?
I'm doing it right now, Dominic. I know you're fired up, but I have to get a couple of words in here.
You're going to go blah, 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 blah.
Well, you can try to predict. You can try to predict.
Okay.
Or you can listen.
This is what you do. Blah, 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 saying nothing.
Dominic.
Did it happen under Trump's watch or did it happen under Biden's watch?
I feel the energy. I kicked your ass last week and you're trying to make up for it this week. I feel the energy. But let's just try to have a conversation around some facts.
What? Last week.
You're overcompensating, Dominic.
Last week, you had one good week. Out of what, 12 appearances?
You actually, it wasn't me.
Out of 12?
It's just you were off your game a little because you had worked so much.
Out of 12 appearances, you won 1 out of 12.
It's a streak. It's a streak, baby.
And you're bragging. But Mr. Weiner, seriously.
I want to get serious. Let's get serious on immigration.
Seriously. Did this happen under Trump's watch or under Biden's watch?
It happened under Biden's watch because Biden is the president since he kicked your guy's ass a few years ago. But I will say this. The laws that are broken have been broken for a long time. You know who said that? Donald Trump gave a speech from the Oval Office in 2019. It says, we need to fix these laws. And then he went out and did nothing about it. This year, Donald Trump vetoed a plan that had been worked out by Democrats and Republicans to make sure there are no more crimes like this, and your guy vetoed it. So who's responsible? Donald Trump and the Republicans.
Am I supposed to respond to that?
You don't have to. You've kind of filibustered up to now. We can move to the next subject if you want.
Okay. First of all, I want the audience to follow what you're doing. You're saying don't focus on the current occupant.
Focus on the source.
Let's go around him and go to the president before him.
Hey, what do you want your president to do? To toughen the laws or not? Hey, let me ask you. Let's start at the very beginning. Do you want the laws to be tougher or not?
See, I want you to focus.
You don't want to answer the question.
No,
because the answer is, of course, you want the laws to be tougher.
That 13-year-old girl could be in Queens.
100%. It's horrible.
Could be my
It's horrible, and I hate exploiting it.
And you know what that savage
I hate exploiting
said?
it. Don't you hate exploiting that?
No, we're not exploiting it.
A tad?
No.
Exploiting it a tad?
No, you don't want to focus on it because the Democrats have been exposed for your crazy policies that are destroying America.
I want to focus on the issue. You want to exploit this poor girl's death.
Let's focus on this savage said, oh, I have a drug problem.
Terrible.
I felt, to hell with him and his alleged drug problem.
Whatever. What he said is terrible. I don't care what he had to say.
After violating this 13-year-old girl, raping her, and making her 13-year-old male friend watch, I decided that I felt comfortable halfway through, and I decided to videotape.
It's horrible.
He shouldn't be in the country.
Okay, fair enough.
Let the 12-year-old girl
100%.
in Houston, Texas.
100%.
Explain this to me,
but
Mr. Weiner.
Let's take a look at
this. Can you explain this?
Wait, let me do one thing at a time.
Can you explain one thing?
Sure.
In Houston.
Sure.
You got police officials at a news conference almost breaking down in tears. What does that tell you, Mr. Weiner?
Hey, can I tell you, if I wanted to find cases to exploit to make any point I could, I can talk about police violence. It's terrible what happened. However, when we debate policy, when we debate issues around here,
a 12-year-old girl lured from her home by these other savages in Houston, and they wouldn't be here if you guys in your policy.
A case in Houston and a case being exploited by the New York Post. I get it.
Exploited?
That's what you're doing. I hate to say it, Dominic, because I think you're a good man. I think you're exploiting this.
This is what happens.
Talk about the policy.
This is what happens. You don't have any answer, and then you accuse me of exploiting it.
I'm giving you the answer.
And
I want to change the policy.
You give the knee-jerk response of, oh, that's you in the New York Post.
I want to talk about the policy that led to this girl's victimization.
Which one? Which girl do you want to talk about? Or do you want to talk about the 37-year-old mother of 5 in Maryland?
Anytime you have people claiming...
Why hasn't the President of the United States reached out to her family? Why is that? Can you answer that, Mr. Weiner?
Anytime. I think he doesn't want to exploit this situation any further.
By now. But when it comes to George Floyd, you can reach out to his family all day. And as recent as a month ago, his brother at the White House, when the president freezes and Mr. Floyd's brother has to try and bring him back to reality.
Dominic,
so why meet with George Floyd's family? Don't meet. Yeah, you know why.
He could theoretically call every crime victim.
So
there are way fewer of them than there used to be.
The case in Maryland. You're not going to get away with this week.
I'm not going to get any words in either.
You sit up here with this nonsense week after week. I'm calling you out today.
Fair enough.
You sit up here with these Democratic talking points, and
I haven't even had a chance to do any talking points.
Normally, because Anthony, when you get to go on,
is this the way the debate's going to be with Trump? Is he going to be like this? Where do I get the kill switch for the microphone so I get a word in?
It's not going to be a fair debate because if it's a fair debate,
because your guy's demented.
No chance in hell.
Your guy's demented.
Wait, Trump is demented?
Yes, Trump is demented. By the way, you hear about his doctor Ronnie Johnson told me.
Do you really believe that?
His doctor Ronnie Johnson told me.
Okay, Jackson. He should have said Jackson. Do you really
Well,
believe?
it's been so long.
Okay,
It's been
no,
so
wait,
long.
wait.
What about a lot of Stepanik or whatever he called her? The guy can't remember anyone's name. Oh, what about the idea that Joan Rivers told him he voted for when Joan Rivers died before he even ran? The guy's demented.
You have the nerve
It's
to
okay.
say, okay, so
it's okay.
So let's see if you can
It'll
tell the
be okay.
truth. Let's see if you can tell the truth. A moment of truth. So if Trump is demented, as you say, talk about Biden's gaffes. Let's see if you can be intellectually honest right now.
How about the one that you've been obsessing over, where they cut off the video where he's talking to a different paratrooper?
So you're still making.
What about the one? What about the one where they said he couldn't remember his Homeland Security chief's name when he said it literally next frame after Fox cut it off? Listen, Fox News, New York Post, the people that you worship, those guys had it out for Biden. There's no doubt these guys are both old. I got my money on Biden beating him again in a third straight debate.
I don't know, man. I like you, but sometimes I
You're
worry,
gonna stop
man.
there. You do?
No, I worry because.
You think I need help?
Are they going to make you an ambassador somewhere? I mean, because these. I
bring my best.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? And I'm not going to let you get away with this.
Which part?
So the case in Maryland, the mother of five.
We'll go back to that if you want.
37-year-old.
We can
mother
talk
of
about
five.
it.
Did you see what the savages did to her?
Dominic, you want to yell. I want to have a debate, but you can
Did you see what they did to her?
Terrible. Crime is terrible. Crime is terrible. Crime committed by undocumented
and the
people.
does not even reach out to the mother.
Listen,
but Trump does.
Crime is down 30%. He could still call every crime victim.
Oh my
Let
God.
me ask you something. Should he, Dominic? Can I ask you a serious question?
Okay.
A crime victim that gets on the front page of the New York Post and a crime victim that doesn't. Which one should the president call?
Well, that's a great question.
That's all I do is great questions.
You know why it's a great question?
Because I'm getting you to think about the exploitation of a case.
No, that's not what you're getting me to do. Because when it comes to turning out the black vote, he will use and do everything in his power.
You mean like he did in Detroit?
George Floyd, that case, the White House.
George Floyd.
You can't stop. Pull out all
Well, George Floyd became a case that revealed what people were feeling all around the country about violence against blacks when they deal with police.
George Floyd is no hero, Mr. Weiner. I'm sorry.
I think what he embodied, though, was a very important thing that he started in this case. Very often, people in our history, Jordan.
4 police officers are in jail.
Because there are some police officers who commit crimes. Don't you agree?
I don't think they committed a crime in the George Floyd
fair enough.
case.
But I'm saying that happens, right?
Right. But in that case,
police officers commit crimes.
But in that case,
undocumented people commit crimes. Police officers commit crimes. People commit crimes.
The White House can do everything. We're going to meet with the family of George Floyd. Look at our black vice president.
Well, I got to tell you,
go meet with the family.
It helped to reduce and crime came down. Crime came down after it spiked under Trump. Crime spiked under Trump, has been down ever since.
It sent a false positive to black people that this administration cares about you. Blah blah blah.
No, cares about
the violence.
I don't know. I think Black Lives Matter. Do you think? Do you think Black Lives Matter?
Of course, Black Lives Matter.
Okay, good. So we agree on that.
But don't run that con on me.
I'm not. I just want to make sure we agree.
So you know what? I'm glad you mentioned it. You and I are going to start a chapter of Black Lives Matter. I'm a natural.
We're going to get rich.
I'm a natural loudmouth. I'll be the face of the operation. You watch the money, I'll get out there and I'll say no justice, no peace, and Black Lives Matter. I'll say it all day long, and we'll get paid. Within 6 months, we'll be able to buy. We'll be able to buy a mansion. Can I finish? We'll be able to buy a mansion.
I kind of get the joke at this point.
We'll be able to buy a mansion each.
Yeah, I get it. I get the joke.
And to
what
baby
about
mamas,
all the people?
And to baby mamas and baby daddies, we can buy them
what
mansions
other people
and put them on the payroll.
Yeah.
And there's
this
no
is like
accountability.
Dominic Carter's greatest hits from 2021. Let's go. Let's do it. Okay. Look.
Notice you're not focusing on these girls. Notice you're focusing on everything else.
I am
but
focusing on crime.
And the women.
On crime. I'm focusing on crime. I'm broadening the conversation to crime. And you said, well, maybe he should call.
From it.
No, I'm not. I'm right here, not moving. I'm talking about crime. You have crime victims. They happen. Unfortunately, sometimes police commit crimes, sometimes undocumented people, sometimes black, sometimes white. However, there are crime victims. Now, some cases, though, you have to admit, get exploited on stations like ours for debates like this. And so I ask you again, should Joe Biden call up every single crime victim in the United States and express their condolences, or only the ones that get you excited? Which one should he do?
He had no problem reaching out to George Floyd's family.
So you only want the ones that get... So you only want front page ones?
Wait a minute.
Which ones did...
Why is George Floyd's family more important than the families of these young ladies?
I would agree with you that there's no arbitrary line, but you're the one that said you want Joe Biden to call every crime victim. I don't think it's practical for presidents to do that.
Okay, well...
And I know you're excited about this case. It's a tragic case. There are a lot of tragic cases.
Which one are you referring to?
How about the thousands that you don't talk about?
Mr. Weiner.
What about all the few?
Mr. Weiner, did you ever think about the fact
I got an idea.
that this savage maybe didn't use a condom and this girl may have a
Let's
sexually...
not be so graphic on a Saturday afternoon.
No. On a Saturday afternoon, let's call it. Let's call a spade a spade.
Let's do this.
That girl is 13 years old.
How about I have an idea?
She probably doesn't have much sexual experience.
Okay, now we're getting too graphic.
And let's say this savage... No.
Dominic, let me ask you a question.
Let me just finish this.
When is that happening? We only have an hour show.
So she's got to deal with this for the rest of her life.
Terrible.
Emotionally, mentally. All her future relationships will probably be messed up. And what if this savage didn't wear a condom?
It's
terrible. Know, like I know.
Okay.
He's raping the girl.
We get the point. Rape is terrible whenever it happens. But can I make a point to you?
So it doesn't matter if a month from now
I have just got done saying how much I think it matters. It matters.
And then has to look at a choice of an abortion or not. That doesn't matter.
You care.
It's not relevant.
Wait a minute. You care.
I'm sensationalizing.
You suddenly care about a woman getting an abortion. That's ironic.
Oh.
That's ironic.
Oh, here we go.
Do you want to pull that part back? Can we edit that part out?
The cart you're trying to pull.
You've really got to be kidding me.
Here's the cart you're trying to pull.
No, I'm not trying to play a card. I'm trying to get a word in.
Think they can win the election by focusing on abortion.
I want to focus on crime.
Dominic focuses on abortion.
I want to focus on crime.
Okay, focus on crime. Go ahead. You got the floor.
Should Donald Trump call and congratulate the 30% fewer Americans who've been victims of crime since Joe Biden took office than when Trump left after we had the spike of crime under Trump? You know, crime is down 30% nationally. Democratic areas, Republican areas, red areas, pink areas, purple areas. And you want to talk about what I want my presidents to be doing is focusing on reducing crime. And if you're concerned about crimes committed by the undocumented, don't you want to toughen the laws? You refuse to say the word.
Say
the word, yes.
I want them gone.
That's by law.
I want them gone.
By passing a law to do that.
I want them out.
I know, because you don't want to think past your nose. You need a law to do that.
No. You guys,
I am America.
Let's bring all these migrants.
No, I want to fix the laws. I want to fix the laws. You don't.
Oh, look,
Dominic.
You want a house? You want an apartment?
Dominic,
you want food stamps?
You are phony. Trump is a phony. You want the crime to yell about because you yell for a living. I talk for a living. That's why I'm not as good as this as you are.
Okay, so Mr. Weiner, right? So I guess that those crimes happened for a political reason.
No, they didn't happen for a political reason. We have a good president when we used to have a crummy one. That's why crime is down.
Okay, so if we have a good president after a crummy president, your words, how did these incidents happen?
Because we never get to zero crime in this country. Welcome to the world, Dominic. No. Welcome to the world. These crimes happen. These crimes happen because we can't separate the good from the bad. And you said on your show this week there are many good migrants, right? How do you separate them? With new laws. And we'll be right back.
Okay. We'll come right back. Okay, got it.
So welcome back to Left versus Right. Anthony Weiner on the left, Dominic Carter on the right. You just heard my show every Saturday. Dominic, you're on at 3 o'clock. And I want to say, you recently took over that slot. It has gone gangbusters. Congratulations to you.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
I know. You are just...
my national competition, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, you're good for you.
I'm coming for them.
Good for you.
And you know what?
Well, I want to also mention...
Why can't you be as good in this show as you are with your show as you were today prior to this?
I appreciate that.
Why can't...
Also, let me just say, you're still on at midnight. You're still doing that show, and you're on the show on Sunday.
So if you could carry over from your show that I just heard, in which you're logical, you're calm, you're calm, but reason, did you hear me? Reason. Right. And then you come here and
let me ask you, would the show be better or worse if we were calm and reasoned?
No.
I think the show would be better. I'm with you on that.
No. If we were calmed and reasoned, this is what happened. You would, so let's say, an hour. You would attempt to talk for 50 minutes out of the hour, saying absolutely nothing, backing up these garbage Democratic ideas, and you would make everyone watching online or listening to the radio want to bang their head, which is what I'm about to do now. But I don't want to hurt my own head.
I got an idea. Let's try it, and we're going to try it.
No, I'm not this week.
I'm going to give you a chance.
Because it's disgusting that you're still defending those Democratic policies when we got women all
think
across
Democrats
the country. We've got girls all across the country.
I think
these savages are picking these girls at random. They don't just rape them. They viciously murder them. Can you respond to that?
Do you really want me to continue this?
Yeah, I really want you to respond. Then you can move on.
I think there are many people who are coming over into this country who are undocumented and illegal who are going to commit crimes. And I think there might even be some who are already here, as we now have learned, who are bad people we don't want here. However, we also have millions and millions of undocumented people who are playing by the rules, who are paying their taxes, have learned English, sending their kids to school. Only by improving our immigration laws and making it tougher for people to come in and be the bad guys are we going to solve this problem. That's what Donald Trump said when he gave a speech in the White House in 2019. And that's what I wanted to return to. That's what Joe Biden wanted to return to this year. And your guys vetoed it. You want the issue. You don't want a solution. That's my response.
Right. Okay. So how long has Mr. Biden been president?
He's been 3 years, got another 4 years coming up.
Okay, so he's got a couple of months left. What? He's got 3 months left in office.
3 months, right? And then 4 more years after that? He's got plenty of time, plenty of runway.
No, he's got 3 months left in office.
And your guy,
right?
How come your guy didn't serve a second term? Oh, that's right. He got his ass kicked. Go ahead, please continue.
No. So you're talking
because he was a failure in government.
Okay,
that's right. I remember now. He blew it during COVID. Oh, that's right. He blew it during COVID. Oh, and he never changed. And he didn't fix the immigration laws. Oh, that's right. And he didn't build the wall on the Mexican pay for it. Oh, I forgot. And a million Americans who died because of COVID. Oh, that's right. And he got impeached twice. I remember now. Please continue.
Who's been in office longer? Who's been around Washington establishment longer?
Washington establishment?
Biden or Trump?
I don't know. They're both about the same age. Been doing this for the longest time.
Everybody knows that Trump has been around Washington politics for 4 years.
Are you kidding me? He donated to me like 10 years ago.
Okay, that's a donation. That's a donation.
He's been playing and losing at this game forever.
Okay. All right. The fact of the matter is, Mr. Weiner.
How far back you want to go with this guy?
Mr. Weiner, wait. You
want to go back to when his dad was doing racism in his buildings? You want to go back to when Donald Trump was given a $2 million gift, Mr. I made it all on my own? You want to go back to the 6 bankruptcies? You want to go back to the fraud cases he's lost? Or you want to go back to the 34? Wait a minute. Let's not go back.
Stop hating.
Let's go back in the time machine to the
Trump.
34 convictions he now has a felon on the stage this Thursday.
You could mention the convictions to your blue in the face. Nobody's going to believe that.
Weiner gets his groove.
You're standing up doing your
I think the kids
dance.
call that the Cabbage Patch.
The Cabbage Patch? Yeah. Mr. Weiner just got up, folks.
That's all right. That's all right. You don't need to know about it.
He got up and did his dance. And he has rhythm. So I'll give that to you.
It wasn't my proudest moment. All right, let's do it. Let's get back to the issues.
Okay, yeah, notice, see, this is the slick game that he runs.
No, I just have 7 issues here.
Notice that you still haven't responded to those girls. And I'm not...
Holy mackerel, you are not paying... Oh, you've got Donald Trump memory issues. Yes, I just did a very calm and orderly and ferocious takedown of you guys.
No, you gave me a general pie in the sky.
I brought it back
I want you to respond
I'm going to do it again.
Specifically.
I will do it again.
Okay, to the Maryland incident.
I will do it again.
The White House not calling her.
Oh, I did that answer. I'll do that answer again also.
Go ahead.
Do you believe that...
See, there we go. You won't answer the question.
I am.
I'm asking you specifically.
If it is possible to call... Listen, I'm giving you the answer.
Answer the question.
Is it possible to call every crime victim? I don't think it's possible. If they can figure out with AI and bending and physics to figure out a way that the President of the United States, who can call every crime victim, sure he should. Or maybe he should do this. Maybe just during January 6th, instead of calling anyone like the National Guard or his supporters to stop committing violence against the Capitol, he should sit in his little antechamber eating cheeseburgers and throwing ketchup against the wall, your guy did.
Right. But there's time to call George Floyd's family. That's not a problem.
Look,
explain
who
that.
you call, who you don't call.
No, can you please see you
Joe
won't
Biden.
Answer. You won't answer.
Joe Biden, I don't believe was president at the time. Was he?
But he still had time to reach out to George.
Was he?
He still had time to reach out to George Floyd's family.
Let me ask you, did Donald Trump do that?
He just had his brother at the White House.
Did Donald Trump do it?
I'm
just trying. I don't know the answer to this question.
No, you know the answer. That's why you asked.
Did Donald Trump do it?
You know the answer.
Yet crime spiked under Trump, and it went down under Biden. So I think Biden's doing it right. Trump's doing it wrong.
So no matter what I say, you're not going to be honest.
I don't know the answer to call every crime victim. Yes. Okay. I got the answer. You're right. Yes. All presidents should call every victim of crime.
Okay.
There you go. You got your answer.
When you have a 12...
Wait a minute. I just gave you the answer. I want kudos for that. I want some kind of pat on the head that I finally gave you an answer to your insane question.
Anthony, honestly, I feel like throwing up on this table based on the
That's
response that you just gave.
It's a bit
I'm being honest. I'm getting nauseous.
That's what.
Right? It continues to be hot.
Right.
It's been hot as hell.
Can I do some more?
Hey, on Friday, right? Yesterday.
Yes.
Did you see how hot it was?
It's hot in summer. It's hot.
It's almost as hot as the lies that you sit up here telling week after week.
That was your big setup?
No, it wasn't a setup. It's just what came to mind.
By the way, yesterday,
what else are we talking
yesterday
about?
was the longest day of the year. June 21st is the longest day of the year. So now they're getting shorter every day now. Isn't that depressing? Anyway, let's get back to something else.
Less time for democratic policies.
There you go. All right. So the next issue, God is on your side on this one.
And let the church say amen. And when God is on your side, who can be against you?
That's exactly
Democrats, you need to know that. Because God is on the side of Republicans, on the side of right. You open the can of worms. Don't blame me for going there.
Okay. So why I'm raising this week, the state of Louisiana passed a law to put the 10 commandments in every classroom. Pro or con? Where are you on this? I know Donald Trump, your cult leader, came out and he likes it. He doesn't believe in any of the 10 commandments based on his adultery record, based on his bearing false witness record, based on all his other stuff. However, he seems to like it. What do you think?
Based on his adultery record?
Please.
The man has denied. Come on.
Please, Dominic.
Okay, come on.
Dominic.
Come on.
You're a smart guy.
Were you and I in the bedroom?
That's gross.
Frankly, I don't care what Mr. Trump or anybody else does in their bedroom. I'm talking the 10
Commandments does have
I have a hard enough time keeping up with my own bedroom.
I'm pretty sure there's some talk about adultery
and
in the 10 Commandments.
We are getting older, you know.
I'm like Benjamin Button over here. I'm aging in reverse, man. I'm aging in reverse. Yeah, really? I'm like Benjamin Button. I'm gonna show up one of these days. I'm gonna be in an elementary school debating
and still telling those democratic lies.
So 10 Commandments. I notice you don't want to really stick in here because you know it's a little bit of a slippery slope.
Slippery slope.
Yeah.
You know what my response?
What about non-believers?
You know what my response to that is?
Yes, sir.
Here's my response.
Let's hear it. Amen.
Bang, 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 bang. You know what that is?
Hold on. That is the 10 Commandments prohibition on assault weapons bans.
That's what happened at the Juneteenth celebration in Oakland, California. Gunfire everywhere.
Crime.
No, I'm coming back to your issue. Cops assaulted, people shot. We need the 10 Commandments and a lot more. Never should have lost many things that are happening in school. And to those that are non-believers, well,
let me ask you about it. I mean,
most of us don't support your crazy ideas of having, and I support the transgender community. Most of us don't support Democrats' crazy idea of having transgenders.
No, but this is a little different.
What's different?
Well, this one's in the Constitution.
Okay, but
this one's literally in the Constitution. There shall be no establishment of religion.
Okay, so should we continue along the path that we're going?
No, we should always try to get better.
Okay,
but we're talking about the 10 Commandments in schools.
And I support it.
Okay, I understand.
I don't understand what we even it's not even nothing to talk about.
Well, because it's unconstitutional, and it seems a little bit pandery, don't you? I mean, do you think like Lauren Boebert, for example, believes in the 10 Commandments?
I think it's pandering for the black vote when you reach out to George Floyd's family, but you don't reach out to the families of these rape victims and of the murdered mother of 5 in Maryland. That's pandering because what the White House is saying to their base, to the AOCs of the world who should not be in office.
They weren't even in the White House at the time of George Floyd.
Who should not be in office. What the White House is saying, see, you're the only ones that count. We're going to show you that you're the only ones that count. We're going to spend billions on migrants.
Donald Trump
and to Americans, we're going to screw them left, right, and in between.
If Donald Trump cared a little more about the black community, maybe he should go to Detroit and have a meeting in Detroit at a black church with all white people in it. That was humiliating. I was thinking of you at that because you're always saying, "Oh my God, the black people love him because you're a famous black person." You said black people love him. I'm like, really? And then he goes to Detroit to a black church and he fills it up with a bunch of white bozos.
And you do know that tomorrow in
that was like
Queens,
made for this show.
You do know that tomorrow in Queens, 10 African Americans are speaking on behalf of Mr. Trump. You do. I know you.
Wait a minute. 1/3 of his national black support is showing up in the same place. Boom!
Boom! Boom! You killed it on that one. You killed it on that one.
You kind of helped me with the math a little bit.
So here we are halfway through the show.
Yeah.
And you still haven't said a damn thing about the 13-year-old rape victim in Queens.
Oh, my God.
Nor the 12-year-old in Houston, nor the 37-year-old
I'll wait while they play back the tape for you. Are you having a seizure or something? I talked about it over and over again.
No. What you're doing is.
Why do I write a list? Why do I write a list of issues? Why do you wait all week to debate? Why don't you just have me on every day on your 3 o'clock show and beat me up about 2020?
Broad talking points.
All right.
But of course,
you don't want to do the 10 Commandments.
I just told you I support it. It's a good idea.
Fine. Okay. Let's do the Trump visit to the black church in Detroit because I could not help thinking about you there. Come on. If you can't fill up a room with African Americans, don't make an African American event.
You really shouldn't say that. You really shouldn't say that.
Another thing I shouldn't say?
Please don't say.
Can I have a list in advance of things I shouldn't say?
Please don't say fill up a room. Because the current occupant of the White House, why are you looking at me like that?
Because he went to this church and it was empty except for a bunch of white people.
The occupant of the White House cannot fill up a room if his life depended on it.
That church was not so big that Donald Trump couldn't fill.
Okay, focus on Biden filling up a room. Am I lying? Am I doing an Anthony Weiner right now? Does Biden fill up crowd capacities?
I guess he's the president, so the rooms are smaller.
No. Can you please answer the question? Let's see if you can be honest.
So, in other words, we're all done talking about Trump filling up a black church with white people?
I just want you to be honest.
Are we done with that?
No, can you please be honest?
Is this you changing the subject? Where's that bell I had the first few weeks? Where when you change the subject, I can hit the bell.
Does Mr. Biden have a problem filling up crowds? White, black, Asian, Latino, whatever. He doesn't?
No, he fills up the White House all the time. He doesn't do rallies. I mean, that's going to start. So, what about that event out in L.A. that you said that he walked off the stage, but he was being led off by Obama? There was thousands of people in the room, and they paid to be there. They were dying to be there.
Do you really want to go there?
I do,
Mr. Weiner.
I do. What do you think happened there? What do you think happened there? You saw the video now.
Okay. Oh no. Wait. Some of our listeners, they don't like you to call for me to call you Mister. So, and I do that.
You listen
to your courtesy.
Yeah. Well, most of the people who listen to the show like the way that you respect and like we respect each other.
Right. We do respect each other.
So
even though you sit up here,
what about
spinning, lying, and God?
I'm trying to get you to talk about this black church because you are an African American man in America.
No. Don't go off from the president in L.A.
Should we go back to
Let's talk about that for a moment.
Which one? Let's compare and contrast.
Okay, wait.
Compare and contrast?
All right, so can I go first?
You can go first.
And then you
can go first because you haven't spoken enough this episode.
This is elder abuse, and the president froze yet again on stage.
Which one?
In L.A. at the fundraiser.
He was waving to people.
No. He stopped.
You've now seen the video.
Can I finish? He completely froze. Obama, as slick as ever, tried to wave to the crowd and gently escorted him off the stage. That's what happened. So if I were you,
Stop the presses.
I would not
Stop the presses.
I would not talk about events because you can't win in that front. So now you go ahead.
Okay, what about the fact that that Donald Trump, you keep bragging every week. You, as a leading spokesman in the African-American community for Donald Trump, keep talking about his support among blacks. He goes to, by the way, why does he say that Milwaukee is a horrible town? That's so mean to say that about Milwaukee. Is that because
I've been to Milwaukee several times. Have you ever been to Milwaukee?
I have actually.
Okay.
Is that one of the Twin Cities or is that a different place? No, that's Minneapolis, St. Paul. That's someplace different.
Have you seen?
I love Milwaukee. You guys are having your convention there. You don't piss on the city.
Have you seen the? And we got to wrap this up to toss to a break and come back. But have you seen the crimes?
It's down 30% in Milwaukee.
Come on, what? Are you Eddie Murphy now? You got a joke? Have you seen the crimes in the urban areas?
I've only seen the stats, and the stats are way down since the spike of Donald Trump.
You know what? Let's continue.
We got to go to a break. Anthony Weiner on your left, Dominic Carter on your right. We'll be right back. So welcome back to Left versus Right. Anthony Weiner on your left, Dominic Carter on your right. If you miss any part of this, you can get it as a podcast. That's true of Dominic's show and my show on the weekend. You can get that at the Red Apple Podcast Network. Also, you can watch us on YouTube. You can watch all of this in a video form, and we're very handsome, so we're glad that people are doing that.
Before we move on, what did they promise you? For what you do here week after week with all of this Democratic bull.
Let me ask you: what percent of
what did they promise you? I just want to know, Ambassador.
I get the rhetorical flourish, but let me ask you a serious question about that. What percentage for the listeners of our back and forth do you 100% fully agree, or you're just doing your best job being on the right?
I agree 100% with what I say.
Okay.
I tell the truth, even if that means criticizing.
Well, you're doing opinions.
No.
Truth on opinions. Only God knows the truth. These are opinions.
Anthony, unlike you. That you look, you spin, you twist, you lie, you fib. I don't do that. I tell the truth. If it's
you do opinions.
No, if it's a good week for Democrats, I will say it. Unfortunately, you have had a good week, and many Democrats and many weeks. If it's a bad week for Trump, I'll call it out. If Trump does something that's wrong, I'll call it out.
I know, but I'm
that's
saying
not what you do.
I think you're not you used to be in the news business. Now you're in the opinion business, right? So nobody knows.
So
everything is perspective.
Can you answer how much of that nonsense do you believe?
I believe probably 95%, and I do 5% as flourish.
You do? You believe 95%?
I do.
Of what comes out of your mouth
I do.
on this show?
Look, what's the easiest thing for me to do being on the radio and WABC? Is to tack right and be like one of those. I won't do it because I don't believe it. I believe it's performative. And I believe, by the way, and this I'm going to let the listener in on a little something, a lot of times that they're left versus right on a conservative outlet, the left is nerfed. They don't really want him to do that well. And I give John and Margot Katsoutidis and Chad Lopez and you credit because they say, don't be nerfed. Go out and really be legitimately in your belief, and that's what I am. All right, but this debate about debates brings us to another debate that's coming up this week. These two guys whose names escape me, I think one of them is called Donald Trump, the other one's called Joe Biden. They're gonna have their first debate.
Right.
We never have it this early. Usually it's when most people have decided.
Ask yourself why.
I think because go tell us what's your view. I don't know
the answer to this because Biden knows he's in trouble. They're shaking everything up.
He thinks it'll be good for Biden. What do you think?
Wait. There are even reports that if he does not do well at the debate this week, that amongst Obama, Schumer, Pelosi, and some others, that they're going to try and possibly remove him from the top of the ticket.
How would you do that, by the way?
I don't know.
You can't really do it. I mean, let's stick in the realm of reality. It's going to be one of these two guys who's going to be president. RFK Jr. is not going to be on the stage because he's not going to be president. But I have to say, I think probably you're right. It probably is Joe Biden who wanted to be earlier, and I am not 100% sure. Let me just finish my thought. Can I finish my thought?
Why would Biden want it to be earlier?
Let me finish my thought.
But you're not answering why.
You can't wait.
See if you can tell the truth.
If you wait to the end of the sentence,
right? Because you don't want to tell the truth. Go ahead.
I forget what I was going to say at this point. I was going to make a point. I was going to make a point.
You know, we are getting older. Yeah, you said that Biden, you probably agree that Biden.
Yeah, I probably agree that won't want it to go, but I'm saying that usually when we have these debates in October, people have made up their minds. Maybe. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I think Joe Biden is legitimately right to say that a debate now is better for him. Oh, here's the thing I want to say. I just said this on my show. I'm not 100% sure Trump doesn't pull out.
Pull out of what?
Pull out of the debate. Because you're right. I think that Donald Trump, although the margin is closed a lot, I collected the polls before I came over here. The margins have closed, but I think Trump is winning. And usually they had Trump duck debates during the primaries, didn't do particularly well in 2020. I am willing to wager.
Laughable.
Which part?
The last time I checked, in 2016, he was one of 16.
2020.
I'm talking about 2016.
Oh, okay.
Trump was one of 16 candidates, right? The first time he ran, right? And he cleared the field of all of them.
He won.
Look, let me finish. Based on his performance at debates, he is a master debater. He is a master showman. And see, you still haven't answered. See, this is what you.
I don't know, but let's have a conversation about debates.
I want you to answer.
Oh no, we're going back to the New York Post story again.
No. You said that you agree that Biden wants the debate earlier.
I was just saying that and you interrupted me.
But you haven't said why. Because you don't want to tell the truth.
Dominic.
Well, okay, so tell me, why does he want it earlier?
See if this sounds familiar. I just said it because I think he's right that Donald Trump is ahead right now and that Donald Trump...
So he's losing. So Biden is losing.
So I did say that, didn't I, Dominic?
Okay.
So look into the camera and hold up the microphone and say you keep saying I'm not answering questions
you said
when I am.
Passing while talking a mile a minute.
You don't want me to talk fast now? What town are you from? You're from New York, my brother. If you don't want fast talkers, then you're in the wrong place.
No. But being a New Yorker, we know that when
Dominic, why are you constantly critiquing how I'm answering rather than what I'm saying?
When a person is talking fast, it's normally because there's a con in there because they don't want you to hear everything.
No, we talk fast because we got things to do in this town. We got things to do. We got places to be.
Okay.
All right. Now, and I know you love to do this meta-analysis of how I'm answering, but if you listen to my questions, you'll probably agree. Joe Biden probably wants it now because he knows that Donald Trump is going to put his foot in his mouth and then he wants more time to make hay of it.
He wants it because it's now or never for him.
Right. What does he think's going to happen? He thinks he's going to win the debate, right? What do you think? Whatever the reason is, we're going to have the debate on Thursday. What do you think's going to happen?
Well, considering that once again, you tied Trump's hands behind his back, Right?
All right, I'm open to this one. What is it?
No,
do not. Tell me what the hand behind the back thing is.
Because, all these rules and stipulations.
For both candidates.
And wait a minute.
For both candidates.
You progressives with the migrant policy, right? So now we
They're
got
going
the
to debate
situation.
it. They're going to debate
it. Wait a minute. The story dropped late Thursday night. I noticed you haven't mentioned it. Here we are Saturday afternoon. The music is about to start with Vinny.
Go ahead.
And Cousin Brucey and so on.
Go ahead.
I noticed you left out Alvin Bragg, the district attorney.
It's on my list.
I noticed you left out, we haven't gotten to it yet.
It's on my list. Unfortunately, I can't get you to stop talking about the New York Post headlines.
When are we going to get to it? When are we going to get to the fact?
We're having a debate.
When are we going to get to the fact that Alvin Bragg says, hey, all of you protesters up at Columbia that took over Hamilton Hall,
that does it. Now you've done it.
You don't have to
Now I'm got to open up a can of whip ass.
Okay, go ahead.
Issue number 1 on the rundown that Dominic Carter had.
Right.
Migrant commit crimes. Right. Anthony Weiner ducking? No way. I'm leaning in, pal. Issue number 2, 10 Commandments in schools. We've learned that Donald Trump only seems to know 1 or 2 of them, so we skipped over that one. Trump visits black church in Detroit. You wanted to change it to Biden. 4, Biden gets poll bump, but Trump almost leads in New York. I'm ready for it. I do not back down. Hold on. Number 5, no charges in Columbia sit-ins. If you want to say into the microphone, I'm sorry, Anthony, you weren't ducking anything. No. I just filibustered the New York Post in the first segment. No. You are welcome to do it.
No. I'll catch it. No. Anthony just threw the paper across the room. But no, he balled it up. And
you don't need to do this. This is radio. They can figure it out. It's theater of the mind. As Slee would say, it's theater of the mind.
Okay, so here's, folks, what the reality. So Anthony knows that we often don't get to the final 3 or 4 subjects. So that's why he buried Bragg.
And whose fault is that?
That's because he buried Bragg.
Whose fault is that?
We wouldn't get to it. So can you
want to talk about George Floyd suddenly?
So yeah, because...
All right, let's do it. It's funny. You are the best. You say I'm trying to duck an issue, which I put on the freaking list, and you want to do the New York Post for the whole first segment. All right, let's go. So, yes, Bragg cleared all of these cops that cleared out the sit-in. People did not get charged with those crimes. I can go either way on this. You want to put them in Rikers. You want to give them... They weren't going to go to jail anyway. They're going to pay a fine or get a death. Then you have to have trials, and then they get more attention from the trials. These kids wanted attention. My position all the way along had been, whatever you do, don't give them more attention. You want to have 200 trials of these people in their kafiyas or whatever it is, fine. You think that's the way to do it, or you want to catch rapists instead?
I say catch rapists. Don't let migrants in.
Right.
And at the same time punish the
There's only so many courthouses, so many judges, so many money, so many tax dollars we have. What's more important? Prosecutors have to prioritize. Is that a lower priority than the rapists, yes or no? Case closed. All right. Do you want to do any more issues? You see, Dominic, I don't duck your issues.
No, you
do it, Dominic.
You do.
If I was
spin, you're very good at
speaking English words into a microphone. That's why they pay me the big bucks around here.
You're very good at spinning. We've gone almost an hour, and you still have not addressed specifically
George Floyd from 2020.
Any of those rape cases that I brought up. You still haven't done it
I have. You're going to have to listen to the replay of this as a podcast on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Let's keep moving because we have little time left.
I threw away my rundown now. All right. Can we do a little bit more about the debate? It's the big news this weekend. We barely touched it.
Why is it the big news? Trump is going to mop the floor with Biden, even though all the rules are set against Trump.
All right, let's focus on that then, because I don't understand that they have the same rules for both guys. What rule do you think is so unfair?
Come on, man.
Which rule?
Everything plays to... First of all, when have you ever seen a debate with no interaction amongst the candidates?
You mean they do the question thing?
No, whatever thing. When have you ever seen a debate... The only thing is
the questions.
No, the mics are supposedly going to be muted if they try to interact with each other.
No, if they try to talk while the other guy has time. Do you know why they have that rule? You've been a moderator of debates.
Right.
You saw those debates in 2020 in Cleveland when Donald Trump... this rule is better for Donald Trump. Donald Trump, if he learns to control himself like he did in the trial, where he just sits, calm, closes his eyes, takes a nap.
Please don't mention the trial because you
cut me. One where he's convicted of 34 felony counts?
Because you cut me off. So Bragg is not going after the protesters at Columbia.
Right.
But yet he's asking the judge to extend the gag order.
Yeah, did you hear about that?
Death threats, which are wrong.
Very
and
wrong.
And racial
and that's
threats
why you have that's why you have gag orders. You can't threaten people like your guy does.
So Trump doesn't have a First Amendment right?
Not to threaten. No, not to cause harm.
To speak.
No, you can't. You can't shout fire in a crowded theater. You should know that, Dominic. You're in the media business. You know the limitations.
The man
Let me ask you: do you have a
right.
First Amendment right to curse on the microphone right now? No, you do not. There are limits to all of ours. We have responsibilities.
But I can generally speak about any subject I want to. Can Trump?
Actually, he cannot threaten someone. Not in a trial.
No. You didn't answer my question. You and I, before these mics, can generally speak about any issue we want to. Does Trump have that same freedom?
He does not. His right ends.
And you think that's right?
Yes, I don't believe that someone shouting all the Zionists off this train have that right to speech. It threatens people.
Okay,
I don't believe you should.
Stop trying to merge that issue.
I know. I'm trying to explain to you how First Amendment is not open and shut.
And the reason why you have
there's no First Amendment right in a courtroom
stating the Zionist comment on the train is because Democrats like you make it possible for people like that to do what they do.
I bet that guy's a Republican.
What?
I bet that asshole's a Republican.
I don't know where you're getting this from, but okay, Mr. Weiner. I mean,
don't you understand that when it comes to these cases of speech, Donald Trump has a right, but he also has responsibilities.
Okay,
he has a responsibility.
So when Biden
he can't libel someone that he sexually abused
as a convicted felon. What is Trump
I like the way you say that.
When Biden does
I like the way you say that.
When Biden does
as a convicted felon.
What
does it mean to you that your candidate you have to start with as a convicted felon? Here's what I'd recommend. Get a candidate who you don't have to start the question with as a convicted felon. How about that as a start?
Imagine the situation Trump is in, and a live situation. Let me finish, please.
So sad. A convicted felon losing his rights.
All Biden's going to do is say the economy is better and the convicted. Let me finish, which is not, and convicted felon. Now, if you're Trump, he's got to watch his every word to make sure he doesn't violate a gag order.
Let me ask you something. Can I tell me the scenario he would threaten a witness on the debate stage? Why would he do that? Is he that much of a knucklehead that he would threaten a witness or a judge from the debate stage? We already have death threats and bomb threats because he's been so irresponsible. Can't this guy put on his big boy pants and stop acting like a 9-year-old? He can't threaten people. Nor can you. Nor can a guy on the train. The President of the United States is supposed to like the Constitution, not be constantly trying to bend it and break it.
Right.
But that's what makes him a felon, I guess.
Right.
A felon 34 times over with 60-some-odd indictments still pending.
Like the Constitution and call the family of George Floyd. Let's not forget that part.
Is that your answer to everything today? Some issue from 2020?
Basically.
Okay.
Basically.
So go ahead, connect. I can't imagine our listeners are not bored by that, but go ahead.
Notice what Anthony glossed over.
George Floyd? How did I do that? It happened all the way in 2020.
You said Trump had no chance in New York. Look at what the polling is showing.
That's on my rundown. It's over there on the floor.
Right.
My idea was to talk about that. How am I glossing it over?
So talk about it.
Okay.
Talk about it and be about it.
New York is...
You said it couldn't happen.
Well, he's not going to.
But you said it couldn't happen.
It can't happen.
But you said it won't happen.
It won't happen.
So how do you explain what's going on?
I feel like having a Costello right now.
so
that was a weird little bite.
That should be our bite. And you're lucky we're running out of time.
That should be our bite.
How do you explain the fact that you were wrong yet again?
You know, I went and looked this up. Do you know that Joe Biden? No. Do you know that Donald Trump was polling at about 16% in 2020 among blacks? He wound up getting 9%. I think that blacks are going to come home. I think they're answering pollsters the question. I'm pissed off at the way things are right now. A lot of people are.
Why are African Americans pissed off?
I think a lot of people are pissed off.
Okay, well, why are Americans pissed off?
I think that people are pissed off at all of their incumbents right now. They want the world to be better. Plus, they have a president who's
no.
They
They actually want our women to be able to walk the street without a migrant saying, "I want to have sex with you," and snatching her into the woods.
Are doing
we're out of time.
We're
out of time.
Dominic, you're doing a great job demagoguing an issue, a crime issue. That's what Republicans do. Republicans equal sign demagogues, and that's why they lose elections.
Vinny, will you please
lose elections? Are we that close?
Yes,
are we out of time?
Over.
Anthony Weiner on the left, Dominic Carter on the right. Dominic, I love it every week. I love it every week.
Vinny's standing by. He wants both of us to
stay tuned for
shut up.
Vinny Meduno. Get any of this as a podcast. Take care. See you next week.
Take it, Vinny.